Hi, everyone. Today I am back with a collective reading for our beautiful spiritual community on my channel. So I brought three different decks. The first one I'm going to pull from is the Starseed Oracle, and I'm just going to shuffle those cards now and get started. I am just looking for messages that will help us all tune to whatever our soul is asking us to be aware of at this time. And I got so many cards. So now I'm gonna have to allow spirit to really guide me. But these are the three I just felt like intuitively guided to just put right here on the table. So we're going to start with these. And the first one that was on the top is the void. So how many of you have been feeling like you've been in the void lately? I'll raise my hand because I've definitely been feeling that. In fact, I've talked to a few other people I know that have been feeling that. And I'd say I've been kind of in and out of the void or the liminal space personally, off and on for about a year now. So we know that last year was the shedding of the snake skin, and this year is in Chinese astrology, anyways, the year of the fire horse. And so that just cycle started on February 17th at the same time of the solar eclipse. But I've still kind of been feeling in this void or liminal space leading up to the spring equinox. But now that the equinox is over, I'm definitely feeling my creative flow coming back online. And so, they're saying this is just a sign that we are coming out of the cosmic womb and we're moving away from that energy and we're actually moving into the birthing or rebirthing phase of our natural cycle that also aligns with what's going on with the spring energy. So the next card is Star Family, and I'm just going to see how these all connect. You're part of a team of souls, call in support. So they're telling me right now, my guides are that guidance is on the way and your soul is literally calling you. And support can mean many different things depending on your unique situation. But a lot of us are actually going to be connecting more or feeling more connected to our galactic guides and our star family. And that's what's coming online in a bigger way this year is what they're saying. It's not just right now, it's been happening for a while, but they're basically saying, and this is coming from the Pleiadians because they're part of my beautiful star family, and they're stepping forward right now to share this message on behalf of the collective that disclosure is inevitable at this time, and that Three Eye Atlas was just the beginning of bigger awakenings and realizations. But they're also talking about self-realizations. So because disclosure is a very personal thing, we expect it to be, yes, there will be political maneuvers around this and attempts to, what they're saying is, it's kind of like hijack, but like control the narrative, right? To control the disclosure narrative and how things come into public awareness. But they're saying it's really true disclosure is self-disclosure. It's really about seeing through the false screens, seeing through the propaganda, seeing through the lies, seeing through the past, all of that, and really looking into ourself and recognizing our own power to choose love over hate, unity over division, more consciously. So when they use the word disclosure, they're kind of using it here on a personal level to mean connection with your higher self, embodied in a way where fear doesn't penetrate you like it used to. Chaos doesn't control you like it used to. It doesn't run your nervous system. It doesn't run your life. It doesn't take charge of your emotional energy as you learn to stay more grounded and in your own like free will power and the sovereignty that you do have and the choices and freedoms that you do have to be sure that you're taking advantage of every opportunity to really step into your higher role, your higher position. in life, whatever that means, whether that means making a new career choice or choosing to leave a relationship that isn't working out for you anymore, or just move to a new location. These opportunities are going to be manifesting at a higher level and rate right now, and divine synchronicity is really going to show the way. So, that's a very powerful and important message for the collective to hear right now. And so, and this is the most beautiful card that could come right after them sharing that message is surrender to the sweetness, Venus energy, pleasure, joy, make love to life. I mean, oh my God, nothing speaks more Venus than that statement right there. And also, I'm really connected with Aphrodite as a goddess, and that's like her. That's like she's a great goddess to work with if you're wanting to learn how to see the beauty and really the pleasures in life. But that's what's on its way. That's what's already here right now. That's what's being cultivated through what feels like chaos or a storm that we're all collectively kind of going through right now. What's on the other side of that is this, a culmination of peace and surrender. And that's also the most powerful position you can take in your life, is to choose joy, right? Is to align with what you can create and how you can contribute to creating a more peaceful, balanced, and just pure world, right? Where we're all able to live in communities that feel nourishing, right, on a soul level. So, what they're showing me is that many of you right now, many of you, if you haven't already been feeling this call and taking action on this, are going to really feel the call to either create, co create, or join communities that feel nourishing on a soul level. I know this has been important, an important component for me in my life, that I started to manifest beautiful communities with like-minded souls who that are genuinely nourishing, and it supported me through all of the ups and downs. And that's what the world needs now more than everything, anything, is brotherhood, sisterhood, unity. To lessen the impact of what we are going through, which is a huge state of transformation on a global scale. And it is chaotic, it is messy, because they're showing me it's not unlike when you want to remodel your house. The first step is the demolition. That's what we're in. We're in the demolition phase, and it could last. They're showing me like 1 to 3 years or longer, depending on, how well we can move through that in a calm, peaceful manner. And that's what will be needed. People who are self-regulated, people who are embodying their sovereignty and able to stay grounded in their own peace and joy, to create or have the solutions necessary, to be able to create the solutions necessary to what we are essentially rebuilding, as we are seeing what is false continuing to fall and literally collapse. So, really beautiful messages from that guide or oracle deck. Next, I'm being guided to draw from the Goddess Power deck by Colette Baron Reed. So let's see what goddess energies um, and messages want to come through for us. Okay, so I got, 4 cards. Okay, and one of them is one I don't know, which is interesting. Um, Metis. Okay. I've never worked with her, and I'm not familiar with her as a goddess, but her card says wisdom. So the key to higher learning, what they're saying is being able to access like more wisdom. Um, so what I'm seeing is what they're showing me is literally Some of you or we as a collective are having like big time activations happening right now with all the sunlight coming through, and the solar flares. There's a lot of downloads happening, so they were showing me like the crown chakra opening up like a lotus, literally, ready to kind of like a down, they're calling it a downpour of downloads, and it's just all higher wisdom. So it's easier than ever to really hear your own higher self speaking to you. And it's just so important, they keep saying, to really develop your intuition. So find practices and ways to talk to spirit and communicate with your guides throughout the day. Just have fun with it and be like a child, just exploring and experimenting and playing a game. And they're giving me the example of, picking a guide that you want to connect to, or just in general, your spirit team. Ask for a message through a certain symbol or specific sign, like it could be a feather, or it could be a coin, or, something more specific like a blue heart or something. And just find a symbol that is meaningful to you. A rose, they're giving me, and this might be just ideas for those who are resonating with those symbols, but essentially they're just saying like interact, communicate, ask for a sign to draw your awareness to like knowing that you are supported, that your guides are around, and because they really do want to communicate with you, and they really are with us all the time. And a lot of that communication is happening unconsciously, telepathically, through thoughts and downloads that we're receiving, random inspiration, or just the nudge to look this direction and happen to see like a billboard or something like that. So finding your divine flow and staying connected through times of chaos is really about staying connected to your intuition and learning how to trust it more. So there's just a lot of guidance coming in. They keep emphasizing that higher guidance coming in and wisdom that wants to be shared. And then I have, of course, I didn't even look at this card before I said finding your divine flow, but that's what they wanted me to emphasize. And the next card is Goddess Rhea, and it says flow. So so that's it. Finding your creativity. They're saying creativity is what's going to help balance you out. Like if you are feeling a lot of anxiety or just a lot of like just dysregulated or like uncomfortable like tension or emotions. They're saying like exercise helps, running helps. For some of you, that might be a specific message for like just a certain few of you. Sorry, I get tickles in my throat, but that's because there's a lot of energy coming through right now. But yes, so talking about running, so exercise routines where you're finding exercise could be like a release for you and a way to stay grounded and regulated. But they were also saying creativity. It will help being creative, being the master of your own creative flow and life force energy, which is also the Kundalini energy, but it's literally the energy that you use to create whatever you want to manifest. So they're just saying that like making sure that you're setting time for yourself to be creative in ways that you're genuinely excited and passionate about is really going to help you stay balanced and focused on what's like important for you, what's nourishing for you through these difficult times. And the Great Goddess card came out, and this is just a reminder about unity consciousness because it says sacred unity. So they're just showing that to be like finding harmony within yourself, finding union with yourself, just feeling more in alignment with all of your needs, including your physical body. And so I just did a channeling with Green Tara the other day that I'll leave a link to up here, that talks more about how to really become more self-embodied through self-love, and how to take advantage of the spring energy when it comes to manifesting higher abundance. And then lastly, the last card is Ellen of the Ways. Patterns. So they're really emphasizing here recognizing the patterns that are ready to be released because they just aren't working anymore. But a lot of us are really good at doing this because we are, a lot of us on this channel, anyways, are devoted to shadow work and really becoming like integrated manifestors and masters of our own timelines. But it's just kind of a reminder to just look at the patterns, just notice the patterns and notice them from like an observer perspective. It's just like you're just neutral. Your day um like is going, okay, so too many ideas coming in at once and I'm not expressing myself clearly here what I'm trying to say. So let me just gather that thought back up. Okay, what they were showing me is like something that I've been doing for myself or just naturally doing that helps me stay aligned is just looking at, every 24-hour period or day cycle as an opportunity to see like what were my intentions, what were my goals, what worked and what didn't work. And then once I see what worked, I refine that or I apply that strategy. And when I see what doesn't work, I refine that strategy because sometimes I think something's going to work and it actually doesn't work. Or I just take the time to really just observe. So it's not so much about having to fix or change everything, even when you notice something didn't work. It's more in the ability or practice of just observing the pattern long enough, like just track the pattern. Like sometimes change is as simple as just noticing what the pattern is actually showing you, because sometimes we think it's showing us one thing and then we shift very quickly away from that. But the reality is, it sometimes it takes time to see what maybe there's a core belief or a self-perceived limitation, something blocking us that we're really, or something blocking the flow that we haven't really fully discovered yet. And that's why the negative cycle keeps showing up in our life because there's still a soul lesson to be learned from it, something to be gained, some kind of wisdom code to be accessed or gained through the experience. So my guides always tell me, stay out of blame, shame, fear, panic, anxiety, worry, or stress mode about anything, even when things are like not going or feel as though they're not working in your favor. Stay away from those feelings. Don't attach to those feelings, although they're not saying, obviously there's times where it's appropriate to, it's needed to release the negative emotions or to feel the feeling before you can release it, but don't attach to it. Don't stay in that frequency. Choose alignment by always seeing where your power really lies in being able to make one small adjustment, even if it's minor, doing something different to and setting an intention to have a very specific result. So they're also talking about using your voice to activate your intentions, to activate your manifestation, to speak out loud, even just to yourself when you're starting your day. What is your intention for the day? What do you want to experience? If you have an appointment you're going on, before you leave for that appointment, set your intention out loud as to how you want that appointment to go, what you want to experience while you're there, and ask your guides for assistance in areas where you feel like you need a little bit more support or clarity or guidance. And don't be afraid to journal whatever comes because it's really important to the process of seeing the patterns and being able to understand ourselves better, which is what this journey is all about. It's really about getting to know yourselves better and mastering your own energy. It's just helpful. So I'm losing my thoughts. So I think that's a sign that I've said what I needed to say and I don't need to stress it. So I'm going to move on. And then I'm just going to pull hopefully one card, maybe three. I don't know. The cards have been coming out more than I expected. And I was hoping this would be a little short, but I have this fun deck I want to pull from that I haven't used on this channel before. Celebrity Spirit Oracle deck. And many of you know I channel a lot of celebrities, and most of them, some of them, a lot of them are in that are in this actual deck. But I feel like there's some guidance that wants to come through. Um, just for our last few messages. Aw, and it's one of my favorite spirit guides, and that's Kurt Cobain. And yes, I've been connecting with him a lot, and this is kind of a gentle reminder for me to get on here and share some of his messages with you all because he's been really close on my team for over a year now, and I was never a Kurt Cobain or Nirvana fan prior to meeting him in Dreamtime is when he kind of found me first, and then we've really been connecting a lot. And there's a lot he has to share about his story. But aside from that, it says live your life, right? It's live your life. And he's all about like be authentic, right? He's all about authenticity. And but he's also very emotional and he's very like heart centered. And he stands up for the rights of others and he calls people out, right? He just says it like it is. So be bold in the way that you share your truth. Like, don't be afraid to say no or I don't agree. You know, we don't have to be mean about it, but we can be clear, right? And so I think this is a mixed message from directly from Kurt, maybe because he is so close to me, saying like, oh, saying no is part of being sovereign. Like we have to learn to really like honor our true needs and emotions. And if our emotional needs are not getting met, like in a relationship, in a job, in a life situation, we really want to look at what we can do differently. Right. And sometimes that means just standing up for ourselves, just being more clear in what we will accept and what we won't accept. Like energetic boundaries are very important. And so he's just saying just stay grounded and true to yourself. And James Dean is the other card that came out. And they both are kind of like the rebel, archetypes. So James Dean says, don't try, do it. And it's just like, so that goes along with Kurt's message about being bold and brave and just do it. Like, this is the year of the fire horse. It's all about courage. Courage is your heart in action, right? Your truth in action. It's not about sitting back and sitting down and like waiting this one out. It's about finding the fire within, fueling the fire within to actually take action and move forward with it. And sometimes action, my guides are reminding me, isn't about like big steps or bold moves necessarily. Sometimes we misunderstand that, or we we think it of it like that. If I'm not doing all of it, I'm not doing any of it. It's more like small steps, small action steps towards what you want to see, what you want to create. And then finding the flow and tuning the process as you start to recognize what parts of that process you really enjoy and you want to do more of. And so, or as you start to see the results, but it's just about like small actions sometimes. And I'm going to end this message here because that was really a lot more that came through than I expected. But thank you for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If anything resonated, please leave me a comment or like the video. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.